Hey, this is Roby here. So today we're going to be looking at using an AMPLIFi 75 with an FBV Shortboard MKII, just to really show you what you can do with this combination. I've got myself a Line 6 James Tyler Variax JTV 59. I'm mostly using the default presets, but I've made a few tweaks to one which I'll talk about in a bit. So to start with, just the normal preset switching. So we're on preset A at the moment, preset B, preset C, and then preset D. So you can see obviously it changes the 4 presets that are already stored in the amp. On top of that, there are a few other things that you can do. The volume pedal on the FBV Shortboard MKII does work, so if I full volume, rotate it back to minimum, there's nothing. So if you're using the iPhone or the iOS app on your iPhone or your iPad, you can see the volume effects block that's in the AMPLIFi. And you can actually set the minimum and maximum, so you could have the controller sweeping from minimum is 80% and maximum is 100, and therefore what you could actually do is use that as your kind of solo boost, just to increase your volume from your 80% to 100%. That's one way you could do that, or of course you can use it for whatever purpose you like. The wah does work as well. There's a wah effects block in the AMPLIFi. You can control it with your iOS app. You can change it to different wah models, and obviously this pedal works just the same as the wah pedals do on other pod HDs, for example. You press down quite hard with the toe end of the pedal. That engages the wah. So we're on preset B at the moment. Just turn the wah on. Okay, so that's wah off now. So I'm going to go back on a preset D, because that's where I've configured some things, changed some of the settings in the effects, just to demonstrate some things for you. So on top of that, you've got the other effects switches that are on the kind of top row on the pedal. So you've got stomp, modulation, delay and reverb. The reverb switch will always switch the reverb effects block on and off that's in your AMPLIFi. You can then move that reverb block either from the very end of the signal chain to just before the amplifier model. Some of the other switches, so the function 1 you've got, that will switch on and off your compressor, which is an effect that will obviously compress your signal. You can also use that to add a little bit of gain as well, which is good. So that's another way where actually if you turn the threshold down on the compressor and boost your gain, your function 1 switch can actually be a very simple boost effect, just to kind of raise your signal level. So that's quite interesting. The bank up and down don't do anything. The function 2 don't do anything, because there's no bank up and down necessary. You don't need it, because there's no second bank of 4 presets. Function 2, as I say, doesn't do anything. Your tap control, tap foot switch, will adjust your tap tempo for effects that are sensitive to time. So like your delay, for example. If you hold it, you'll actually get a tuner, and then you can see on the display on the FBV Shortboard MKII, you'll see your tuner, whether it's accurate or whether it's sharp or flat. Just the same as you do on the lights that are around your volume control on your AMPLIFi. Now we come to the stomp, modulation and delay. So your stomp is for would traditionally be for your gain or your overdrive pedals, mod for your chorus or your phase or your flange, those kind of things. Delay, obviously delay. But here's where the interesting bit is. So those 3 effects blocks can be any of those 3 effects. So you could have 3 distortion pedals, or you could have 3 chorus pedals, or 3 phases, or 3 delays. And so those effects blocks in the amplifier are then controlled by those 3 switches. And on your iOS app, you can see a signal chain, so you can see from start to finish, and your amplifier bit is in the middle, and then you've got those 3 effects, which can either be just before the reverb at the end of the signal chain, or just before the amplifier, or maybe that might be just before the reverb, which could be before the amplifier. And any of those 3 can be in any of those 2 locations in I will say any order, but the first of those 3 effects in your signal chain will be controlled by the stomp switch, the second by the mod switch, and the third by the delay switch. Whether or not they're before the amp model or at the end of the signal chain is irrelevant. So what I've actually done is I've configured preset D, I've edited it, and I've changed the stomp, mod and delay to actually be 3 different delays. So what I'm going to show you now is just what the switches do. So the first delay is actually 0 feedback, 20 milliseconds. It's meant to fatten up the tone. So I'll turn off the normal delay I've got on, and I'll put on that. I'll kind of turn off that one, and I'll show you what it sounds like with and without. So I'm going to show you what happens when that's on, off and on, as well as the other 2 delays as well, which one is kind of got a very short feedback, and the other one's got kind of a ping-pongy sort of effect. So you'll see what it sounds like. So this is with just reverb. So as you can see, the FBV Shortboard Mark II has got some really good additional features that you might want to use. If you're a gigging musician, certainly some of these things will help you, where if you've only got 4 presets as the amp comes with, you might be able to create a preset where it will be your preset for a number of different songs. Maybe you have like a kind of a crunch sound, and then you have a drive pedal that you can kick in to give it kind of a hot rodded drive sound. So you've got some options there whereby you can really make more than just 4 sounds in the 4 presets. You've got 4 presets that are your bass, and you can have effects that are in those presets to do different things for maybe for different songs or different parts of the same songs. Okay, well thanks for watching, and I'll see you over on the Line 6 forum.